Okay, that being said, we've gone past Despicable Me. Okay, who's seen Wonder Woman?
Wait, we can't do Wonder Woman yet.
Why not?
Because that's a big one. We got another one. What was that one that we watched?
And I need Claudia down here.
The one with all the colors and.
Oh,
Valerian? I did not see Valerian.
I wanted to see that, and I still not.
I heard it was bad.
Really?
Yeah.
It is worth it.
Really?
It was worth it in the theater just because the
Cinematography.
Oh
Yeah,
my
thank
gosh,
Have another drink.
It was a gorgeous movie.
Well, it's the guy who did Fifth Element.
Well, in
Yeah.
Avatar.
Yeah. Well, no. Did he direct Avatar?
I thought so.
No.
Cameron directed
Cameron
Avatar.
did not have no hand in Valerian.
No, it was the director from Fifth Element. I forget his name. He's a French guy.
Okay, yeah.
Delicatessen, I think, is another one he did. No, maybe not. Never
But
mind.
it was a gorgeous movie. Absolutely gorgeous.
That's what I heard, that it was just a big painting, but there was no substance to it.
There really
I thought
was.
it was
So
good.
I went into it thinking the character, like we just saw it randomly, and I thought the characters, like, oh my god, these two kids are just gonna drive me nuts. They actually did not. It has those two characters kind of have a Guardians of the Galaxy kind of feel to it. Not quite so much, but their story and them being together and everything else, and they go through everything together. It kind of had that feeling. Now, I'm not going to say it's as good as Guardians of the Galaxy.
So, can I ask you? Because the movie interested me from the moment that I saw it, and I'm embarrassed to say I still haven't seen it yet. But one thing that I think was putting me off was a lot of these movies tend to have over CGI effects, and I could tell right away from this particular one that this was more CGI than actor based. Even the characters looked slightly CGI. Is that just what I saw in the trailer, or did you not get that feeling actually watching the movie?
I didn't get that feeling watching. I know exactly what you're saying. I didn't get that feeling watching the movie,
And we even watched it in 3D.
Really?
I guess
Yeah.
you probably want to, I would imagine.
and I think that's why is because they either did a really awesome job to kind of take that away, or I'm not gonna say it's because of character acting, writing, directing, because it was kind of predictable a little bit. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the ending was, I'm not gonna give it away, but
Well,
you could see
the story's been around for 20 years.
yeah, you could see what's gonna happen, but the way they did it, there's a few characters you're like, oh, you can't, like, Bubbles. Like, I think the side characters kind of made it more than the actual two, but they were really good. I would recommend going and see it, especially like in a theater if you can, and because it's that visually, and we go shots. What it was, I was expecting to give it a 1, and I'd say a good 2.5 to 3.
Okay. So worth seeing at least once.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Well, I might go to the second run theater and go see it. Because I kind of wanted to, but I'd heard so many bad things, and the kid really wasn't interested. That's usually, I go to the movies with the kid every summer, and that's our thing. But, okay. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. I'll watch it one of these
I
days.
thought it was pretty well done.
Just while we're waiting for the girls, did anybody watch Planet of the Apes at all?
No.
I haven't watched it. I don't think I've watched a single one of the new ones.
You know what?
I didn't even know
I
it
don't
came
even
out.
care.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to say: is I have not seen it yet, but yes, I am going to watch it because I had loved this new round of trilogies. I think it did the original campy Planet of the Apes and all of the series that followed it
Yeah.
justice.
Okay.
I loved James Franco in the first one, and I loved how the development of Caesar goes.
Okay.
So, know that I've not seen the third one yet. I'm actually looking forward to watching it. I just haven't
Okay.
come across it to say, oh, I gotta watch this.
I'll agree.
You did see it?
I didn't see it
You
yet.
didn't see it.
I will see it when it comes out, though.
Now, did we talk about, we didn't talk about it last time, but I recently bought Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, we
Remake it.
watched that.
Really? We should talk about that for a minute, because I don't think we talked about it last
You
time.
already watched did you watch the movie version?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you can talk about it.
Did you get the animated version?
Oh, I have. I've had that for years.
Okay, me too.
I've been a fan of that
That
since
was
it was
good.
new.
So did you get the?
Whiskey is not good.
I got both of them.
Okay.
I have both of them now. Lily and I have kind of come across this love of anime, and
Yeah, a little bit.
it's hit or miss. And I got her into watching a few things. She got me watching a few things. She's into The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra, which is actually a really good show. A couple other ones that she's into. They're okay.
You need to have her watch Princess Mononoke.
I think she has.
Amazing.
That's put out by Disney. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh God.
Ghost in the Shell, and then the other one is
Not Akira.
Castle in the Sky.
Oh.
Yes.
amazing movie. My girls love it.
Kira didn't really catch her attention. She didn't watch it for very long. It's too much. Kira's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
But Ghost in the Shell, we watched them kind of back to back, the live action, and then I showed her the anime, and she loved them both. And I think the live action is everybody wants to bitch about she's not being Asian. Who
Yes.
cares? It doesn't matter.
No, I don't complain about. But
Yeah.
that was one of the biggest.
That was one of the biggest
complaints
complaints, and
Annoyed me.
Yeah, I agree. Especially watching the old one afterward. Like I hadn't seen it in a number of years, so I went ahead and just downloaded it. And the old one is outstanding.
Yes.
It's a
And
perfect.
And that's what I
movie.
was going to say is because I actually watched the old one first, then watched the new one.
Yeah.
To refresh myself. And to me, I'll watch the anime again. I
Yeah.
will not watch this one again personally.
I kind of dug it. Okay. But all right, so now that the girls are down here, we've been putting off talking about Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Now,
So amazing.
yes, and I agree. Having again daughters, I have a daughter as well. I think it was people have always bitched about Wonder Woman being sexist, and if you look in the history of the band who created her, it's a weird history. Like he lived like this 3-person marriage with 2 really powerful women. He invented the lie detector test. It's really a strange story, but I don't think it's ever demeaning to women in terms of Wonder Woman. I think that she is something like Xena, like some of the other characters, Ghost in the Shell, for example. Yeah, they're sexy and they're pretty, but they kick your ass. And I think it's not wrong to be one or the other. I don't think you have to be one or the other. But since the girls are here and they haven't had a chance to really say anything, let's go around first. And has everybody seen it?
Yes.
Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's just go around. Trina.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was way more than I expected.
Nothing specific.
I don't know.
All right.
I thought that the person who plays her, I thought she did.
Oh,
Gail Godot.
Oh, she is
Amazing.
just yeah.
You know, we didn't realize it. She's in Date Night.
Yeah.
We watched
Yep.
Date Night the other night and like, oh, Gail Godot Wonder Woman just walked down the stairs.
in Date Night?
Yeah, she was the Israeli who didn't speak any English that
With
Mark
Mark
Wahlberg was
Wahlberg.
fucking.
Sex with us?
Yeah.
Yes.
They look
Funny,
old
I
and
didn't know
weak. Glad we're not having the sex with them.
But
Which-
I thought that it didn't seem. It kind of sounds weird, but it didn't seem like a comic book movie to me. Because of the way it was done, I guess.
Is that a good thing or a bad
Yeah.
thing?
I think it's a good thing.
Okay. All right.
Does that
Babe?
make sense at all?
Yeah, it
Like,
does. It's different. I agree it's different. Especially than the other DC movies.
I mean, I know it's Wonder Woman, but it was like the way it was done. It was just, I think it was done so beautifully that it was like,
It could stand alone
yeah.
without all
does.
the other. Like
Yeah.
it could just be
Like,
an
if you
individual
didn't know
movie.
that it was
Yeah.
a DC movie
Yep.
or whatever, you could just be like.
It
that
could
was-
just be a kick-ass.
Yeah.
You know.
Mhm.
I like when ladies kick butt in movies. Obviously,
Yes.
big surprise.
And in real life.
Oh, and
in
I
real
loved that
life.
Princess Bride was in there.
Robin Wright.
Robin
Yes.
Right.
I was
Oh,
like,
from
is
House of
that-
Cards.
No,
I was
it's
like-
not
I
just
was
Robin
like,
Wright.
Robin
She's not a
She's
Ben
not
anymore.
Wright.
Ben
House
anymore.
of Cards.
She's just Robin
No.
Wright.
I was like,
Wonder
is that
Woman.
Right?
No,
He's like,
I love
yes.
her.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Robin
And I
Wright.
was like, no way.
Yes.
It was awesome.
Yeah, as Artemis, I think. She was Artemis, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. Yeah, she was pretty
I was
badass
like,
in
no
it, too.
way. So that's what Princess Bride is.
Amber, you saw it with us and
Yes.
the kid.
So I typically am against type for this type of discussion because I'm not really into superhero movies. But I kind of felt, okay, this is going to be a weird comparison. But because I don't really like superhero movies, the ones I do like come along very rarely. So I liked Batman Begins. I thought that was a really
Excellent
epic
movie.
movie. I loved the music. I loved the camera work. It was a beautiful, moving piece of art for me to watch. And I felt the same way about Wonder Woman. When we were done with that movie, I was just like, yes, that was awesome. Like, and
Come
I
here,
don't-
let me hit you.
and I don't get like that about those kind of movies. So it takes a lot for me to like them. But I have to say my favorite parts were all in the beginning when she's at home.
On the island.
I just thought the way they did it was beautiful. It was beautiful to watch. I loved that they didn't go to a literal bright red and blue with her outfit. You know, I liked that it felt like it could be a real place and you know, just a deeper story than what I knew watching Linda Carter in the early 80s on my couch in my matching underoos. That was a different experience. So I loved
Which
what
I keep
she-
trying to get her to wear, but she won't.
I know. That's true. You buy them, baby, and I'll wear them. But I really...
Don't look at me like that. I'll wear it.
Claudia already has them. I'm
Don't
wearing them right
stop
now.
But I really liked the actress. I thought Chris Pine actually did a pretty good job.
He's always been good in everything I've seen him in.
Yeah.
Sometimes he can be a little like a gnome or a hobbity kind of thing.
Okay.
Like that
Huh.
same weird little thing that Matt Damon has. Like
Yes, I
this,
know
like
exactly
this weird
what you
little
mean.
hobbity thing. But no, but I liked
It's like
him.
you just want to put him in your pocket. You know,
I don't know. Yeah, he's like a little leprechaun.
little pocket person.
Yeah, I don't know. but I liked him. I thought he was good. And I really liked the bad lady, the scientist.
Yes.
Yeah, she was scary as
She was so
great.
scary, and I liked that whole storyline that they were trying to stop
Yes.
her.
Yeah.
The only part I didn't really love was just like the whole end battle. I don't know, but
It's
that's
like
just
they had to throw a
again,
monster in there. Just to make it,
that's just
yeah.
because I'm not the superhero movie kind of person. So for me, it didn't really need that, but I still loved it.
Okay, Claudia.
So one word that comes to mind when I watched that movie was empowering. Like I literally went home and I wanted to break shit. I
That's my wife, y'all.
Oh, we know she's broken you. House broken.
I'm on a profile right now.
Right.
I loved my favorite scene of the whole movie was when they were in the moat, or what is that called, the trench.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
the trench warfare.
and
Yeah.
she just takes her stuff
yes.
off
Oh.
and she just fucking runs
She's like, "I'm doing
over that
this."
field and she's just paw paw paw. That was just.
I'm glad I got that on
mind-blowing.
camera.
Oh shit! Do we have camera?
Just for the segment, just for the movie
great.
stuff. We're turning it off
Awesome.
later. That's what the lights are on.
I was like, I wanted to get up and be like, yes! Like, I just wanted to cheer for this woman. And
She's like, why are we waiting? Why are we sitting here?
I just, this is what women should be all about. Like, take your fucking future and take it in your hands and do it. Like, don't wait for something to happen. It's just, that just blew my mind. And I wanted to literally sit there and watch it again after it was done. Like, I could have sat there.
Oh,
and
I've already
watched
got it on pre-order.
Oh, you
yeah.
do?
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to just watch it 3 times in a row. I cannot wait for it to come out so I can watch it again and again and again. I did love the whole. Was it Zeus?
Or Ares.
Ares,
God of
yeah.
War.
I love that whole play on that. I love that backstory to it. That was really cool. I kind of expected the doctor. No, it was not the doctor. The guy that ended up being the
bad guy. Oh, the general or something, yeah.
So the scene
Well, that
where
was
he
Ares.
walks into the pub.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. Where he walks into the pub and he's like, well, I'm going to help you guys and, we're going to figure this out. I was like, he's too nice. There's something going on there. So it was kind of like just a little bit of oh man, that was kind of predictable for me. But just overall that movie, I want to say that's probably my favorite movie of the year.
Oh.
Definitely.
All right, let's get the guy side on this. Jay, what'd you think?
I agree with the predictability. As soon as I saw him walk in the bar, I was like, "That's the bad guy."
Yeah.
I even said that to her, and she hates me when I say things like that. That's the bad guy.
He's done that to me for
He
years.
always knows, and I never know.
Fucking ruins it.
I'm like, how do you even do that? I'm like, just,
That's the bad guy. Fucking asshole.
and I'm like,
It's like the news.
How do you know?
It's like the
I'm
new
looking at it and I'm like-
Scarlett Johansson movie. It's like John Goodman's the bad guy.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like,
The Atomic
it's
Blonde.
so
Oh.
obvious. Like
I think you mean the Charlize
like
Theron one, Atomic
yeah,
Blonde.
yeah. Like, of course, he's the bad guy.
I hate that when you do that.
Well, now none of us need to go see Atomic Blonde because John Goodman is the bad guy. I thought I want to go back to Chris Pine.
I'm sorry.
I thought he was the best part of the thing because as empowering as she was to women, I think he was empowering to men trying to raise a daughter because he was the mentor. This is how we do things. This is how things get done. This is what society's like. Yes, go do your thing. Crap, she just ran onto a battlefield, which a little kid's gonna do, or somebody who's learning is gonna do.
Okay.
But the way he mentored her and like showed her what sacrifice really is, in the end, I think that was kind of what gives him more of an endearing character to me, because he was for lack of saying, he was the mentor, the father figure, of introducing this naive person to this kind of world. I know she always wanted to see it, and I know that she always wondered what's out there, why can't I go out there, and all this. And he's the one that's like, all right, this is what we got, and this is my drunk ass uncles.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go and show you, a good time, for lack of a better word, because that's kind of what it is. But I think he made the movie more for me than she did, because I think he played that beautifully. He didn't steal any scenes, and I think in the movie they were equal. Not
I agree.
not one is better,
Yes.
more empowering than the other. They were equal.
I would say though he was a little scared of her,
Well,
just a tiny bit.
She was
well,
just a little bit
she's
more
carrying a
tough.
sword
Yeah.
down the street. Like, let's.
He's like,
Let's hide this.
Let's
And he
put
gives
this
it to the
away.
secretary. Like,
Yeah.
what do I do with this?
And she was awesome.
She was
too,
great. Yeah.
She was really.
How do you fight in this?
But to me, everybody focuses on empowering them, but nobody really says anything about, like, but wait, he is kind of the one.
Well, it complemented
Yeah.
what she was experiencing.
And it showed us that we can have a strong woman and not be intimidated by it. Yeah, I agree. I can see that. Jeff, what do you think?
Well, I was pretty hard on Batman versus Superman,
We all were. It was pretty hard on us.
but I liked how they put her in the movie of Batman versus Superman just a little bit. I was really disappointed with the others, but with this movie, it was much better. However, I do feel that whoever wrote Batman versus Superman may have had something to do with this one as well, because in the middle of the climactic scene, once again, they pause so you can watch the explosion go off overhead, and then it gets her re-energized into the fight that she was already committed to. Much like, in my opinion, when Superman decided to pause to remember he was in love with Lois Lane, and then the music changed. It did do that again. I did like the World War I feel behind everything that was there.
It's good
as
to see a movie in that era. They usually aren't.
Right, and I know they're moving. You won't have that again. It's going to go straight into
Right.
to the other stuff. But
I don't know. Bumblebee was World War I, apparently.
All right, let's not get into Transformers again. That was so bad. I forgot about that scene even. The whole back and the history thing. Ugh, it's awful.
yeah, I liked it. Was it my favorite of the whole year? No, but it was definitely better. Better for DC than the other ones they've already started to try to do.
Yeah.
So this was a good start for it.
All right, Earl.
Well, I'll start out with saying that this is DC done right.
Okay.
Okay. This is what Batman vs. Superman should have been. It was still dark. And when I say dark, how it was filmed. Batman vs. Superman had this dark cinematography to it. The lighting and the way it is. And to me, I felt this still had that same feel. So they want you to recognize there's a difference between Marvel and DC and just the visual look. It was great action. I love the acting. Chris Pine, Gal Gadot, both of them are great. Yeah. So like I said, what Batman vs Superman was not, this was. Love Chris Pine, love Gal Gadot. The one thing I want to say is I feel there's a difference between the character demeanor with Gal Gadot. When you first get introduced in Batman vs Superman with her, she's more reserved, not ready to jump into action. Whereas this character arc, because you're getting that background feel, where this is the one time you want to see background development. It's what Jay was saying. She's a child.
Yeah.
Mentality-wise, jumping right into action, but you didn't see that when you got introduced until the battle with, Apocalypse. You're just like,
Which
Doomsday.
just shows
Doomsday,
that
yeah.
maybe she has learned to live in this new world, this modern world, and be more cautious about things.
Well, she's had so many years to
Yeah.
prep. I mean, we're talking
Couple
World War One
generations.
versus
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then look at us. I mean, we do. It's the same pattern that we do as children. How jaded do we get? I mean,
Yeah.
she's been around a couple
And
lifetimes.
Jay was talking about how he was the father figure, their mentor, and I'm pretty sure he mentored her just right.
Yeah.
Hello, the boat scene.
I know what you're talking about, but
I mean, hello. Okay,
yeah, I kind of roll my eyes.
bloody hell. Why not show that interaction, that fucking sexual tension that was there? They didn't show it.
Right.
You just 1 minute
You
they're
didn't
talking
see that?
about
I
it.
saw it.
No. 1 minute.
Well,
they
the audience
talk
is
about
supposed to. She didn't see it. She didn't get the. Yeah.
They go into the room, locked door. Next morning, everything's fine. Come on now. You know what the fuck happened. Show it. Show something.
Don't chicken out so
Don't
much.
chicken
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And I think they chickened out on that.
Well, I think they were trying to do that because they were going to be showing it to little girls.
Then
That's
don't,
true.
But then don't allude to that.
Why? But that was important.
It's just like
If
the
it was
Minions
important,
movies
then
make jokes
show-
for the parents and the kids.
I agree with Amber.
Because they're making all these jokes. In fact, the joke was, about sex in itself. Oh, I read all 12 volumes of that.
Yeah.
I know all about that. Okay, but yet you're not going to.
Also implying that she knows a few other things.
Yeah, and yet
There's
you're
no
not-
men on that island.
And yet you're not going to. You see this tension, you feel this tension, and they walk in the room. That's how it's supposed to be. No. So and the other thing I want to know is where that fucking sword came from. As far as when she's wearing that goddamn dress.
I know. You see it in the back. It's down. You see it
Yeah.
behind the dress.
So
She walks in.
So
butt
there,
cheeks.
so there's some,
Yeah.
there's actually some,
Buns of steel.
there is actually some YouTube walkthroughs
Uh-huh.
of reality that wouldn't have worked.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's
Well, neither would running from a T-Rex in high heels. I mean, the fuck? It's the movies.
So, but overall, with me, Wonder Woman still gets a 5.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sorry, but how are we rating? Is
One to
Four
5.
Shots is a great movie. Elusive Fifth Shot is a perfect movie.
okay?
I wouldn't give it 5, simply because it's not quite perfect, but it's pretty damn close. I'm thinking 4.5, really. However, of course, not my favorite of the year. We'll get to that one later. But I think I love, and we talked about this with Cars 3. We talked about this in a couple other things that I watched with my daughter. I love her having that strong, positive female role model. I think it's the things that made us, Star Wars, Superman, all that stuff that we grew up with as boys. That's a big deal to us. And then you guys just have to kind of like come along. Like you,
Well, I grew up with Star Wars and all that.
I get that.
I'm not a boy, but I
but
grew
I'm
up with that.
glad to see it on both sides, is my point. I'm glad to see it
Gotcha.
represented.
Gotcha.
Is that. And I think Wonder Woman's the perfect character to do that. As much as people want to bitch about it. Like what was it? We talked about this last time.
they complain that she's a white chick and she's not white.
No, I know.
Like-
That's what I was talking about.
She's from
Israel.
She's
Oh,
Israeli.
Israel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
she's
I'm
from
like,
Israel.
Linda Carter's like Hispanic.
Yeah, and I'm like
I know.
that. Yeah, Linda Carter's the one that actually pointed that
Yep,
out. Like,
she is.
she's in.
Since you said that, you couldn't have picked a stronger female for that particular role because she was a member of the IDF, the Israeli Defense
That's
Force.
scary.
And she knows how to handle weapons. So if you've watched any of her other movies, like not We're the Millers, but the Joneses,
Yeah.
she holds weapons, and you're like, yeah, she is not doing that because she clearly knows how to. So she's definitely in her own world, hands down, a very strong role model when it comes for a female in any particular type of thing. So picking her for that would have been, as Wonder
And it
Woman, is
comes
perfect.
natural.
Yeah, that's my point. It does come natural.
It's like the gal who plays Angel Dust in Deadpool. She's an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing, yeah. And we just watched a movie, a buddy of mine recommended it, Haywire. And it's okay. It's a little
Yes.
Bourne Identity, but it's good.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like it. I'm glad I got it. It's a good movie. Granted, up until a certain point, this was my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, I would say the same thing.
Yeah, it was so awesome. And what I love, one of the things I love most about any of the superhero movies are the splash page shots. The page, when you open up the comic and it's a 2-pager full-on splash page, usually a bunch of heroes or a bunch of action shit going on.
So for this will be the World War One battle.
The World War One battle, the trench scene is her scene with the shield. Of course, it's ridiculous, but it works.
Yeah.
And what really sold me on this movie is actually the soundtrack.
Yes.
Her theme, the theme for her, I think is the best one since John Williams wrote for Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's amazing. I bought the soundtrack right away. Basically, when I'm working around the house or doing something, it's either 80s music or it's film scores. And I mean science fiction film scores or superhero ones. Back to the Future, Iron Man, all that stuff. Batman Begins. I love all that stuff. That's what I have on my Pandora. And I think that I just fell in love with that music. And that made that scene for me. That the whole scene in the trench warfare is the center of the movie.
And you get that Amazonian.
Like when we were a little younger, like watching Xena kick somebody's ass.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous and it would never happen, but it's so fun to watch.
Yeah.
I think Lily kind of didn't really mention it too much, but she enjoyed it. I think for the most part,
She liked it a
she
lot.
did like it. She again happy to take my kid to see that. I think there's not really much else that I can say about it that you all haven't already said. It looks beautiful. It's well written. It's so much better than Batman v Superman, but it fits into that same story. It continues the story forward. I think people give a lot of shit to Suicide Squad. I really love Suicide Squad.
I like it too.
And we all did for the most part. But this was definitely a step in the right direction.
Yes.
And I've got my fingers crossed for Justice League. And later tonight we
We'll
need to
talk
decide.
about that. We'll
We need
talk
to decide
about that.
what movie we're going to go see next together.
Yeah, we'll
and
talk
there's
about
3 of them I want to mention, and
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
get to that.
Oh, yeah. And I know the 3.
Yeah, exactly.